Okay, good morning. It is 8 in the morning right now, and it is week 12. I finished week 12. I finished the book. I'm about to do my morning pages. I just came from the Zen of Sports. I went to the gym, and I just can't believe it. I mean, I can, but I really can't because I really feared that I would throw this challenge away and that I would abandon ship. And now that I realize it, I was supposed to do 12 weeks, so like 3 months. What is happening? What is happening? Sorry. My cats literally keep fighting, and it's like ridiculous. But okay. So it's something in the morning. I finished week 12, and pretty much I was saying that it's 12 weeks. The course is 12 weeks. Y'all, this took me a full year. It took me a full year. A lot of these weeks took a lot of, I'm not gonna go past this week until I do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go past this week until I achieve what's happening in the week. I can't move past till I achieve what's happening in the week. And so me sticking to that has elongated this course from 12 weeks to a full year, and I'm not ashamed of it at all because I feel like I actually got something out of this shit. Whereas I feel like a lot of other people, when they read this book, hopefully they'll get an experience like me, or more. But I feel like some people will also just blaze through this book in the 12 weeks that she gives us and then not really retain or actually get a chance to exercise the information because life be life in. And who has the time? I know I didn't, so. But week 12 was about recovering a sense of faith. In this final week, we acknowledge the inherently mysterious spiritual heart of creativity. We address the fact that creativity requires receptivity and profound trust, capacities we have developed through our weeks in this course. We have set our creative aims to take a special look at last-minute sabotage. We renew our commitment to the use of those tools. And it starts off with trusting and that creativity requires faith, and that a lot of the things that like come out of not having faith is like depression and sluggishness and confusion. And most of that confusion is actually not confusion. It's just you not wanting to take the leap and go for what you actually want to do because you feel like it might upset other people or be the wrong decision or anything like that. And that can be very difficult to admit. And it was for me. And sometimes it still is. Like, it's hard for me to admit it to other people. I know that I don't need to admit it to other people, but sometimes hearing it out loud and saying what I want to do to other people kind of solidifies it in me. And you know, when I tell people, I'm a singer, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm telling them, but it makes me be like, yeah, okay, you're a singer. Even though they're supposed to be doing that. So, sometimes saying it, acknowledging it helps, So, the resistance is understandable. That's what Julie is saying. and that the flow of our lives is characterized by spurts of abundance and long spells of drought when our supply dwindles to a mere trickle. So we have to always stay enriched and inspired, which is where our artist dates come from, which is why you have to dedicate time to your artist dates so that you can have more of a supply to pull from, just so you can live your life as an artist in a bountiful way. Yeah, so that the little things that you do as well doesn't feel forced, and you just create naturally, and like the ideas just grow and things like that. She was also talking about how like our ideas are supposed to come down on the page in droplets, or come down in however in droplets, like people expect like these big waves, like I have a great idea, and then it's supposed to be this whole thing where like I tear down all the walls in my house and I turn it into this fantastic whatever the fuck. But most of the time it comes out like I'm doodling on a page, or I write a book down or whatever. Like for instance, I don't know why, but I have a completely set up studio. The only thing that I don't have is a fucking mouse pad. I use this as my mouse pad. I use cardboard because it's the only thing that my mouse responds to, right? On this cardboard, I realize it's a lot of creative works on here. When I'm listening to a video, I'm doodling. When I hear something that somebody said that was really interesting, I write it down on here. Something that's weirdly inspiring, write it down on here. I don't know, I just look at it and then I remember some shit. Notes that I sing, fucking things that I placed in my book, things like that. And I don't know why, but I'm gonna order me a mouse pad, but for some reason that thing has value now. And I don't feel like getting rid of it right now. So I don't know, it helps. It helps. It's a mouse pad, it's there all the time, blah blah blah, but it's also like a source of inspiration and whatnot. Okay, so yeah. And then sometimes that turns into the book, that turns into this project, that turns into a song. And I need to allow it to happen like that. Also, what I found interesting was that Julia teaches us to move in silence. And I love that she finished off the book like that. She was like, zip it, shut the fuck up, because you know those poisonous playmates are always listening. And so I was like, damn, because now I gotta balance that with, you know, the affirmation. There's a hair. Now I have to balance that with the affirmations of me speaking it out loud. I have to also balance that with the fact that there are going to be people that now that you say that you're a singer, they're going to try to tear you down for being a singer, which is why artist dates, isolation is absolutely necessary. So with me knowing that, I'm making the accurate adjustments, and I'm making the, you know, I'm working on getting myself into a lifestyle that fits this type of growth. Yes, after this book, I will definitely be practicing my reading deprivation again, because I feel like that really helped. And yeah, I had to remember that creativity was a spiritual, you know, practice. I also had to remember to sample from my previous works. So I need to look at like the works that I don't take so seriously as well, and see that as valid work as well. Like I showed you guys my Florida Man piece. That was so not serious. But it's the piece that I really fucking love. Like I really love that piece. Like I don't think that that piece is all that put together. I don't feel like the proportions are well. I didn't even sculpt any hands on the gator. Like, It's very janky, and the door is not even attached. It's like a random door, and the door's all wonky and turned or some shit. But it makes me feel like I'm in the Cat in the Hat, and I live for it. It makes me happy. It's a part of the studio. And then something that's more taken seriously is that snake sculpture. I don't know if I showed you guys that one, but the one where you put like incense in the back and it comes out the eye. I'll just show you. This beauty, this guy, so serious. Because it's like supposed to be like a god and all this other type of stuff. And it was a collaboration with my good friend Eisner, and he did the woodwork and I did the painting, and we had the concept together, and it was just such a, like, it was so organic, and like it was so serious. But you put the incense cone back here, comes out the eye. It's fantastic. And we saw it as like an altar piece and all this other type of stuff. And it's just like, I don't know which one brings me more joy. I really don't. But they're both here. They both bring inspiration, and that's both super valuable. And that's why they're both not for sale. They're for me. And maybe one day, if somebody's worthy enough, I'll give it to them. But right now, no. So then we talked about escape velocity. And she was talking about her friend named Michelle, who's like a conspiracy theorist. And I fuck with Michelle for this, because she was talking about how when you're going good, there's always something called a test that shows up. That shows up for you. And she says, yeah, the test. It's like when you're all set to marry the nice guy, the one who treats you right, and then Mr. Poison gets wind of it and phones you up all of a sudden. And they're the test. You're supposed to evade the test. You're supposed to pass the test by evading that damn test, by not falling for the bullshit. And it always comes at the perfect time. And I don't know if we set it up for ourselves like that. Like, how did Mr. Poison find out? Obviously you doing something to make Mr. Poison find out. Because I know Mr. Poison ain't just stalking you like that, unless he is, because I don't put it past these niggas. But it's always something like that. Like, for instance, when I keep telling you guys about that damn story with my teachers in college, where I was just about to fucking graduate, and I was finally getting my feet together after like getting my stride to finish this year off. And then all of a sudden I get this meeting that I felt so unnecessary from those two teachers, who basically told me I wasn't shit. I was like, we're gonna give you a chance to be a good artist. You're actually horrible, and none of these teachers wanted to fuck with you. And I'm like, nigga, I just got my stride after my fucking brother died. Like, chillax. Let me graduate. Mind your business. Like, why are you trying to tear me down at this very moment? Swear. It's like, they always be hating on black women, like. But you know what I'm saying? It's always something like that. That's a test. When I was finally getting my shit together and things were finally getting together, and I had this whole debacle with my partner that turned into a whole thing that been about lasted a year. It was a whole thing, like, and it took up every grain of my life, and I was just like, damn. Which is actually what's triggered this journey. The ayahuasca trip, all this turned my life upside down. This book also contributed to turning my life upside down. Okay? Y'all gonna see me on the other side of this. Great. I don't know if I'll ever post another I don't know if I'll ever post another YouTube video. Trying to be good, y'all. Trying to be good. Let me plug this in. Yeah. But I don't know. So Michelle was pretty much telling us, don't be fooled, don't be fooled. And I know for a fact that there's probably going to be a test that's coming up. And you know what? I expected it to come now. I expected the test to show up now. Like right before it's time for me to do the 12th week. Right before it's time for me to just like finish it, wrap it up. Something will happen where I would low-key self-sabotage. The test will show up automatically and I have to throw myself into the test. That way I have an excuse for like, well, I was dealing with this and I was dealing with that and time is running out here and all this other type of stuff. It didn't show up. So it's probably going to show up after, when I have to be accountable and start exercising this shit. Give me strength. God, give me strength. So, I'm jumping all over the place. She's saying, a little flattery can go a long way towards deterring your escape velocity. So can a little cash. I see where the test is going to come from now, Jesus Christ. More sinister than either is the impact of a well-placed doubt. Particularly for your own good, just wanting to make sure you thought about this doubt, voiced by one of our nearest and dearest. As recovering creatives, many of us find that every time our career heats up, we reach towards the nearest wet blanket. We blurt out our enthusiasm to those most skeptical friend. In fact, we call them up. If we don't, they call. This is the test. I've been on both sides of that. And after I just read that, I will never be that wet blanket ever the fuck again. I have been the person that has defended from the wet blanket before. I have also been the person that has placed that little inkling of doubt before. I usually catch myself, but I've done that. I've even thought about it before, and I'll be like, but let me shut up. No, I don't want to be a wet blanket. I don't want wet blankets either. You feel me? But I'm thinking about a couple wet blankets right now. That's my thing. So the trick is to zip the lip. Button it up. Keep a lid on it. Don't give away the gold. Always remember, the first rule of magic is self-containment. You must hold your intention within yourself, stocking it with power. Only then will you be able to manifest what you desire. In order to achieve escape velocity, we must learn to keep our own counsel and to move silently amongst doubters, to voice our plans only among our allies, and to name our allies accurately. So right now, my mother is my ally, my sister Maya is my ally. They know. No offense, but if y'all find out, y'all find out. But I ain't telling y'all shit right now. I ain't telling y'all shit right now. And then I made a list of friends who support me, and I made a list of those wet blankets. So then Miss Michelle said, they will try to get you. Don't forget that. Set your goals and set your boundaries. Thank you, Miss Julia, for telling us about Michelle. It's interesting that you would just tell us about Michelle at the last thing. That's valuable. I fuck with that. Then the tasks. I wrote down any resistance, angers, fears that I have about going from here. We all have them. I won't tell you them. We'll take a look at our current areas of procrastination. What payoffs am I getting in my waiting? Locate the hidden fears. Do this on paper. Y'all already know. Told y'all. Sneak a peek at week 1. Core negative beliefs. Note my progress. I did. Some I'm getting over. I won't say they're all the way gone yet, but I know how to work through them. They haven't disappeared. I learned how to do it anyway. Or let's say I'm learning how to do it anyway. I am proud to say that throughout this whole year, all the stuff that I have had negative core self-beliefs about, I done it anyway. Even if it took some fighting, it benefited me in the end. I got what I wanted in the end. So fight with me if you want to. Mend any mending. That I was like, what does she mean? What does she mean? But I feel like that's something that I may have to do after this video, after the course, just mending anything that needs to be mended. Repot any pinched and languishing plants. I got one big one downstairs. Lord Jesus. Just came from the gym, y'all. Stop. I'ma do it. Because I definitely got new soil and everything. It's crazy. Select a God jar. And then I put all of my fears, all of my resentments, my hopes, and my dreams, and my worry into it. If I ever think about it or if I ever worry, I literally say, God's got it. It's in that jar. And I love that. That was so cute. I love that. Now check how. Honestly, what would you most like to create? Open-minded. What oddball paths would you dare try? Willing. What appearances are you willing to shed? Now that is a good question. That's a good question because I'm willing to shed some appearances. I was willing to shed the appearance of looking nice all the time. I feel like I don't look like a nice person when you meet me. When I walk into a room, people assume that I'm a bitch. Usually, I don't know why. I feel like people just do that because of women. I feel like people also do that because of Black women. But sometimes I feel like my rising is Aquarius and maybe I just can't help it. But people think I'm a mean ass bitch until they get to know me. Or until I fucking open my mouth. So sometimes I literally zip it so they can keep thinking that. Because don't try me. But yeah, so I was willing to shed some stuff. I was willing to look a little mean. But I noticed that when I do stand up for myself, I've been nice the entire time. So most of the time people are like, you're a nice person, Bewley. I'm going to listen to you because you're not saying this for no reason. I'm like, thanks. Because I'm really not saying this for no reason. So listen to me right now. And I'm willing to change. I'm working on willing to change my position in certain people's lives in order to get what I want. List 5 people you would talk to about your dreams and then plan. Did that. Reread this book. Share it with a friend. I shared it with a friend. And I'm glad that she encouraged me to reread the book because I know that I know there's some things in here that I'm going to have to remember. Remember that the miracle is one artist sharing with another. Trust God, trust yourself. And then it was a creativity contract. My name is Bewley. I am a recovering creative person. To further my growth and my joy, I now commit myself to the following self-nurturing plans. Morning pages have been an important part of my self-nurturing and self-discovery. I, Bewley, hereby commit myself to continuing the work with them for the next 90 days. Artist dates have been integral to my growth and in self-love and in deepening my joy I'm living in. I, Bewley, am willing to commit myself to another 90 days of weekly artist dates for self-care. And in the course of the following the artist way and healing my artist within, I have discovered that I have a number of creative interests. While I hope to develop many of them, my specific commitment for the next 90 days is to allow myself to more fully explore music, instruments, and content creation with a focus in gaining money and residual income. My concrete commitment to plan of action is a critical part of nurturing my artist. For the next 90 days, my planned self-nurturing creative action is daily singing, writing, vocal care. I have chosen, I'm not telling you who I chose, my creative colleague and my mother as my creative backup. I am committed to weekly phone check-ins, and I have made the above commitments, and I will begin my new commitment today. I signed it and dated. And that's the end of that. I just want to bring to light that when I started the book, there was a contract in here that I signed. So let's go over that together. All right, so was this contract, right? And it says, contract, I, Bili Njeri, understand that I am undertaking an intensive guided encounter with my own creativity. I commit myself to the 12-week duration of the course. I, Bili Njeri, commit to weekly reading, daily morning pages, a weekly artist date, and the fulfillment of each week's task. I, Bili Njeri, further understand that this course will raise issues and emotions for me to deal with. I, Bili Njeri, commit myself to excellent self-care, adequate sleep, diet, exercise, and pampering for the duration of the course. And that was last year, a month from now. That was August 23. That was August 23, 2022. This is July. This is July 2023. You hear me? I don't care. As you guys can see from the videos, if you guys even made it this far, because you probably thought, damn, that bitch got it fucked up back there. And she still does. But I realized that in the beginning of those, in the videos, I looked crazy. The thumbnails got you, but I looked crazy. My mind was crazy. The work was crazy. Now things are becoming a little bit more relaxed. You know what I'm saying? No more pressure. I'm gonna dive into this world now. We're gonna do reading deprivation, but after we do the reading deprivation, I'm about to do a little book club on this bitch. Stop playing with me. Nah, but y'all are gonna get more music. Let's see about a music video. But for now, Stream Anxiety by Bili. And I love you guys, and thank you guys so much for just sticking with me. I'm so proud of myself, and if you followed this, I'm proud of you too. And let's do this, y'all. I'm so happy. Next time you see me, it'll be on a big screen. Bye.